G'day everyone, and welcome to the third last Formula One Grand Prix Fantasy Wrap for 2019, the United States Grand Prix, brought to you by Fox Blockhead. Let's get into it. First place in the fantasy standings, Valtteri Bottas with 44. Second was Max Verstappen on 37, and third was Lewis Hamilton on 34 fantasy points, taking out the World Championship as he did that. Mercedes, the top team, the team to beat, 73 points. Wowza. And Charles Leclerc coming home with the fastest lap, taking home 5 bonus fantasy points. The driver fantasy results for the USA Grand Prix look like this. As you can see, Hamilton just beating out Leclerc with the fastest lap there. Ricciardo with the second best value, the best though, Lando Norris. Wow, what a race. 4.5 points per million. If you had Lando Norris, you would have picked up some nice points. Unfortunately, if you had Sebastian Vettel, he didn't fail, his suspension failed, but you know, not the best. The Constructors fantasy results here for you. McLaren with the best fantasy value. A couple of other teams still over 2 points per million. Mercedes doing quite well, Red Bull as well, Renault and Alpha. But who had Alpha, since there's so many times they've been in the dud team for this year? Let's have a look at the United States Grand Prix Dream Team. Ricciardo, Leclerc, Bottas, Russell, Norris and Mercedes, all within 100 million points. Have a look here, 230 points. Sorry, $100 million, which is the budget. 230 points, that's pretty good. The dud team, Magnussen, Grosjean, the two Haas drivers, Gasly, Kubica, Vettel and Toro Rosso picking up 0 for the team game. Minus 26. Wouldn't have been very good if you'd turboed Kubica, but everyone's turboing Albon at the moment. He didn't make the dream team this time. That's okay. 68.3 million. The dream studs based on this season here, we got Bottas and Leclerc out in front. Danny Kvyat coming in third with 7 times out of 19 races. Sainz, Perez and Hamilton with 6 races. Mercedes 11 out of 19. They were the team to have in the fantasy league. The duds now on the other side. We've got Grosjean on 13, Kubica on 12. You don't really want those two guys in your fantasy team at this point in the season unless you are taking a big punt. Giovinazzi on 9, Magnussen on 8 times in that dud team. Haas with 7, Alpha with 5. That's going to go right down to the wire with 2 races to go. We've got Brazil and Abu Dhabi. Drivers bonus chance for USA. We've got Verstappen and Norris, who are both on 4 after Mexico, qualifying into Q3 in the USA. Verstappen qualified in Q3, Norris qualified in Q3, so both of them picking up a bonus 5 points, helping that points per million definitely. No drivers were actually up for a race bonus in USA. In qualifying, Red Bull had both of their drivers in Q3 for Japan and Mexico, and again in the USA, so 5 bonus points for Red Bull there. No teams with a race bonus possibility. Driver's chance, looking ahead, we've only got 2 races left, so after the USA, if you are on 3 bonus, you could get a 5 by Abu Dhabi, but no one else can. So these are the drivers that are left with a chance of picking up a bonus. We've got Hamilton and Bottas, who could get their final bonus, qualifying 5 points in Brazil this weekend. Then we've got Vettel, Leclerc, Albon and Gasly. If they can get it in Brazil, they're up for a bonus in Abu Dhabi. In the race though, Albon, Hamilton, Perez, Bottas and Leclerc, the top 3 are on 4, the bottom 2 are on 3. So Leclerc, actually in the UAE, Abu Dhabi, could be up for a bonus in both categories. He's the only one. Hamilton up for it this weekend. Albon has got this weekend, next weekend. But yes, all to play for in those bonus points. Who you're going to pick, who you're going to have. Could be interesting to see who people pick up. Constructors bonus chance. Remember, both teammates need to qualify into Q3. McLaren and Ferrari are both on 2. Could pick up a bonus in Brazil if they can make it to Q3. Mercedes could be the team in Abu Dhabi to pick up that bonus. In the race, Mercedes are actually on 2. They've got Mexico and USA with the bonus chance in Brazil. McLaren, USA, the chance in UAE in 3 weeks' time, 2 weeks' time after this weekend. So interesting to see McLaren this weekend, and the next weekend could be a good here and there punt. Mercedes, though, I don't know why they've got 2 in one and 1 in the other. That doesn't make sense to me. I must have mucked something up there. It doesn't make a sense. I thought maybe Renault was the only one with 2 in the race. Anyway, you can check it up, you can look it up, see where the drivers finished. Mexico, USA, see if they're up for the bonuses in Brazil and Abu Dhabi. Driver standings, here are the top 10 driver standings at the moment. Lewis Hamilton, 754 points. Bottas, 632. Verstappen in 3rd place. Leclerc, Vettel. So that Verstappen versus Leclerc is the fight for 3rd place in the actual championship, and they've got a, what's that, an 8 and 4. What am I doing? Math. At 10 o'clock at night. 12 points difference. They have 12 points difference in the fantasy league, in the fantasy competition, the fantasy standings. It could come down to Abu Dhabi next week to see who takes out 3rd in the driver standings. Bottom 10 look like this. Hello? That's what they look like. Grosjean, -7. Oh gee, I'm hoping he cracks 0. That would be pretty sad if he didn't. George Russell, the value pick of the whole field with 1.59 is his value. Wow, look at that. Hulkenberg, probably the best of that bottom bunch, 10.8. Wow, okay. Into the Constructors Standings now. Mercedes, 1,281. They are romping away with the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari in 2nd, Red Bull in 3rd. And Racing Point, best of the rest, only 22. I'm telling you, math at 10 o'clock at night is not a good thing. 22 points ahead of McLaren. And then they are 19 points ahead of Renault. That fight could come down to the wire as well for the best of the rest. Interesting to see how these last 2 races turn out. Fantasy League time now. Who came in first in the Fantasy League? It was May del Misteri, F1 team on 223 points. That was the team that picked it up. Mercedes, Albon, Sainz. These are common threads that you'll see here. 2nd place, Piston Raventi, 218 points. Sainz, Bottas, Albon, Mercedes. Just a couple of different drivers in there. And 3rd place came to, hey, me again, Engine Blockheads, 192. I had McLaren, Hamilton, Bottas. Not too far off with a bit of a different assortment, but gee whiz, Mercedes were the team to have this weekend with 70-something points. That's ridiculous. The Fantasy League looks like this. I have retaken 3rd over at Kevin and SDG the Peeps, 3 points. I'm up in 3rd place. I don't think anyone else can change. I think it's the 3rd place that is going to be the battle over these last 2 weekends. Hopefully I can stay off the bottom as well. That's, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into my teams here. The Follow the Signs USA, 162 points. Looking pretty good. Changes for Brazil, nothing. I'm leaving the team as is for Brazil. And Engine Blockheads, 192 points. We saw that in the top of the league. Changes for Brazil, 0. I'm keeping both of my teams the same. I think they're doing pretty well at the moment. Hamilton, he's won the championship. He's going to relax into it. He's going to do well in Brazil. Perez seems to either go well or, get knocked out. Leclerc, he's up for some bonuses this weekend, next weekend. Albon, he is the turbo pick. If you don't have him as your turbo, what are you doing? McLaren, I'm tipping them to come in best of the rest ahead of Racing Point. I reckon they can do it. So, if you would like to join the league for the last 2 weeks, please do. The league code is in the description, fantasy.formula1.com. Put that in, join the league. 2 races to go. Can your team jump up the standings? Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend, the time of recording. So I'm going to quickly get this out and up so that it's up before qualifying. 3 p.m. November 16th local time. That's pretty early in the morning for me. Monday morning, 5 a.m. I believe the race is for me. So hopefully I can get up and watch the Brazilian Formula 1 Grand Prix 2019. That would be pretty cool. Follow me on Twitter if you'd like to find out what my thoughts are as the race goes ahead. And we have 2 more races to go. 2 races, 2 recaps. We'll do a season recap at the end as well on a couple of different things. And wow, season nearly over, 2020 right around the corner. I can't believe it. I've had fun. Hopefully you've had fun. The geckos have had fun chirping in the background as we look ahead to Christmas and the next video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see you later, alligators.